Community Thought Experiment, The Trial of Joe the Atheist. Disclaimer: this is a thought experiment designed to help people think about religion and the consequences it has on society today. Do not commit any act of violence or unleash licky puppies on people of non-belief or other beliefs. Notice: the phrase "licky puppy God" is used as a placeholder. Please replace licky puppy God with what you consider as God if you respond to this thought experiment. Joe is an atheist. Joe is lost at sea. He is found and taken to a country. There he finds the people deeply religious. He finds out they believe in a just, invisible and all-powerful one true licky puppy God. He also learns the country doesn't have a separation between state and religion and that the government by default will enforce religious laws. As Joe travels the country he sees people practicing their religion but because he doesn't believe he doesn't partake. This leads some people to believe he doesn't have faith in their God. This leads to some person making a police report he is an atheist, which in turn leads the government of the country to arrest him for the crime of blasphemy against their God. Now before the court, he learns that he is innocent until proven guilty. As such, if he wins, he goes free. If he loses, he will be punished by the attack of 1,000 licky puppies. Unfortunately, he is fatally allergic to puppies, especially licky puppies. He can go free if he simply states he believes in their God, but he won't do so. Instead, during his motions hearing to have his charges dropped, he takes the position the charges should be dropped on the grounds that he cannot blaspheme against a God that cannot be shown to exist, and even if a God did exist, the government cannot show their God is actually the same God, let alone that this God is injured by his non-belief. If the supposed God is not injured, the government has no standing to act on behalf of the God. And if God was injured, why would such a God be a God? But even granting the godhood of their God in this case, why should a God need their help? Anyway, presuming this God was all-powerful, he then asserts the state acting on behalf of their God is in fact a blaspheme because they are trying to take the place of said God by usurping and not trusting said God's power, which would make the trial illegal. You are the judge and now you have the duty to refute Joe's motions, and to do so you must answer the following questions. What scientifically uncontestable facts do you use to build a body of evidence such that the evidence leads only to one conclusion, that a God exists? If you prove a God does exist, what scientifically uncontestable facts do you provide to show your God is this same God? If you prove your God is truly a God, how do you prove non-belief harms this God? If a God could be injured by non-belief, how is this God still a God? But even if a God is injured, how would the government show the sexual harm given that the God is invisible and all-powerful? However, if a God cannot be injured by non-belief, then why should the government get involved anyway? Their God is supposed to be just, and punishing someone for non-harm would be unjust. If you show the government need get involved, now show why the government is not committing the blasphemies of not trusting and usurping. Now respond by making the reply video. Remember, this is just a thought experiment.